Hey, what's up, Thomas? This is a quick demo video for you for your UltraWorks Revan. I've got that right here. This is the first version of like this I've done. I've done a few from Corbanth. I thought I'd be able to reuse my chassis, but I was not able to. So made a whole new chassis for this guy. We're gonna start this video with the chassis outside of this hilt so that I can walk you through how to install it, because there is a few steps to it. So when this hilt kit came, it came with its switch PCB already, and for me to utilize. So it had all the wires coming out here that plug into the PCB that control the two LEDs right here, and then your activation button and your auxiliary button. All those wires were put right here with a quick disconnect. So I modeled my chassis to hold that PCB in place and then run that PCB, that quick disconnect right underneath the board there. And then it also came with its own pixel LED system. So I went ahead and modeled this chassis to hold that too. So basically what you've got here is you've got an all-in-one chassis that comes completely out. Even though there are some steps to put it in and out, I still prefer some type of removable battery system whenever I can do it, rather than have a recharge port. These things can take, a couple hours to charge, and then you're down. You can't mess with it. At least with if you have a removable battery, you could swap them out if you've got multiple batteries on hand. So that was the thought process behind making this guy. So of course your battery is going to go right here. The spring side is going to be your negative. You do have your CFX board right there. This shelf is a press fit into the board, and the SD card is pressed up against the back of this chassis right here, where the wall comes through, and it holds the battery connector. So to get to your SD card, you will need to pop up that board carefully. Mess with your SD card if you ever need to, and then pop the board back into place. It will be a tight, nice press fit down into the shelf for you. So I'll go ahead and fire this guy up right before I put it in the hilt, so that you can see everything works, and then we'll go through the steps on what's needed to actually put it inside the saber. So we'll go ahead and throw a battery in here.
You are the one who deserves to be the Dark Lord.
So the front button is going to be your activation. You see you got your red and blue LEDs working like they should. Your front pixel connector is all lit up like it should be. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. So you see by itself, it's a completely working unit. So in order to get it in the hilt, you're gonna see that you've got two holes up here, obviously, for your two switches. So what you wanna do is when you put this guy in, you're gonna put it in from behind the saber like this. Well, you wanna take that pommel cap off first. So we'll unscrew that first. Don't drop it. Okay, so you're gonna wanna go from the pommel side straight through. So what you wanna do is you just wanna make sure that your two switches are up facing the top, and then I'm gonna take my saber and I'm gonna make sure my two holes for my switches are up on top too, and then just make sure I line that up carefully. So you're gonna notice that the two holes for your switches line up with this black strip that you've got going all the way down the saber, and then that should line up with your two switches when you put it in. So that's an easy way for you to line it up. You see how I got all that in line right there. And then you wanna make sure that you push it straight all the way through. So you're gonna keep pushing this guy. It is tight. I made it tight on purpose because I didn't want it wiggling around in there. And then I'll show you how to get it back out. But you're gonna get to about that point right there where your speaker is right there, but you're not quite where you need to be yet. So you can see your activation button through this window, but that actually needs to be up here. So you don't want to press on the speaker, but what you want to do is put your finger on the side of the speaker right there and press. I just do it with my thumb, edge of the speaker. I'm able to push it in, and then once I got it in a little bit, I want to come up here to these switch windows, and I want to make sure that I'm lining it up properly. Just like that. And actually, I probably, while I was explaining this, I probably twisted it a little bit more than it needed to be. So I'm gonna straighten it out, which is easy to do. I just went through with my finger, I popped it out this way until I had that much. I straightened it where I needed to be, and then I pushed it right back in. So I'm looking at my 2 windows. Boom. Now my switches are exactly where I want them to be. Remember, it's very important. Don't ever press on the middle of that speaker. You want to get that hard plastic edge that's right around the speaker. And you can maneuver this any which way you want using your thumb and your finger, just like this. And put it exactly where you want. I have not used the chassis retention for this guy, but you can. If you choose to do that and hold it in place, you're going to want to use this bottom set screw right here. So you tighten that down, and that will tighten the chassis down, and it will hold everything. I haven't done that because, I'll show you why. So we're going to put this pummel cap back on. Now you've got 2 different types of switches. So your small switch is going to look like this. It comes in 2 pieces. You got this piece right here, and you've got your little brass plunger. So you're going to have to put that brass plunger is going to go on the bottom of that switch, and it rests in there just like that. Hopefully you can see that. So it rests in there just like that. So that plunger, we're going to put that in first. That goes to your auxiliary, which is towards the back. You're not going to be able to mess this up because the buttons are 2 different sizes and they only go in one way. One thing I will caution about though is when you're taking this out, just be mindful that these switches are actually a total of 4 pieces. So they can be easy to lose if you don't pay attention. But when you screw it in, it looks just like that. Okay, now we're going to do our upper activation button, which you'll remember had the red and blue LEDs. So when you get this guy, I'm going to send it to you all screwed into the hilt so you don't have to go searching for it. But there's one piece right there, and then you've got your clear acrylic piece. So again, you're going to take this clear acrylic piece and you're going to put it into your switch. Don't drop it. I got the butterfingers. I'm out in the garage and it's cold. So we're going to take our clear acrylic piece and we're going to push it right through the back of that switch housing. And it's going to stop itself, just like the brass one did. And then we're going to screw it into the hilt. Now, can you take the chassis out without unscrewing these? Yes, you can. But the thing is, you're going to have to hold, you'd have to hold the, I'll show you real quick. Let me just screw that in real quick. You'd have to make sure that when you, as you're taking it out, that these switches were facing down below so gravity would hold all the pieces down, and then you can mess with it like this. I suggest just unscrewing these, setting them off to the side so you don't have to worry about it. So I do not use that chassis retention because I found that I really didn't need to. Depending on what you might do with this guy, you might find that you want to go ahead and just have the comfort of knowing it's locked in place, right? Because if it does move, while you're putting your blade in, then the switches won't work properly. But without putting a blade in it at first, we're going to wake up the board by hitting activation.
Dark Lord of the Sith.
And then we'll turn it on. So your switch is looking good. You got a nice smooth swing. Your auxiliary LEDs. So everything's working good there. So I got this blade right here. We're going to go ahead and test it out. For the purpose of the video, I'm not going to use the blade retention either because I'm not going to get too crazy with it. I usually just sit here and do my thing. So what I found is that when I put this blade in, I backed up the chassis too much. So what we're going to end up doing is just using the blade retention screw. I could turn off this video and make it again, but might as well just walk you through what might happen so that you can see it. So I backed up that chassis while I was putting in the blade. So this time I just took out the auxiliary button so I could line it back up. I just wanted to have something to see it with. So I'll screw the auxiliary button back in, and then I'm going to this time use the chassis retention screw and stop being lazy. All right, so I got that in. Come over here, we'll grab our chassis retention. Don't gotta crank super hard on it, just make sure it's got a little bit of a bite so it's not going anywhere. And now I'll put my pummel cap back on. Might as well use the blade retention screw when we put the blade in too. So we'll do it the way we're supposed to do it. So now I'll use this top one as my blade retention, right? Tighten up on the blade a little bit. Activation. Everything's looking good. You got your switch LEDs going. You got your blades going. Now, when you got your blade on, this is going to be the same as the Master Replica's conversion that I did for you. So you're going to tap your auxiliary for blaster deflex, and you'll see them randomly on the blade. You could go slow, or you could go fast. Right? Hold down the auxiliary for blade lockup. And then you'll see you have randomized blinking between your red and blue, but it does have a reaction for when you hold that blade down or that auxiliary down and get that blade lockup feel. So that's your flash on clash. Everything's working good there. So we're gonna turn it off. We're gonna switch sound fonts. So to get to your sound fonts when the blade is off, you're gonna hold down your auxiliary button until you hear this.
Sound bank selection.
Now we can cycle up or down with either button. Let's use the auxiliary. When you find one that you like, hold the button down. And that one has a solid blue LED. Now when the blade is on, say you don't want to have the red color, right? You want to change colors of the blade. We're going to hold down the auxiliary and twist our wrist and then let go.
Spectrum.
Now you can twist the hilt. Every time you hear it click, it's a different color. So we'll say, let's go with a green. Find one you like, just tap a button. And now when you turn it back on, green. Just like that. Now, that's how you change color. Now when we've got the blade on, this is a solid blade color. You have about 22 different blade styles to choose from. So to get to a different blade effect, hold down your aux and twist your wrist like we did to change color, but then keep the button held down.
Spectrum.
Keep holding it.
Blade profiles.
Now again, you can twist your wrist to get different blade effects. Some of them aren't going to pick up too well on camera. They're subtle, a little bit unstable. That one, obviously, you'll probably see it. Different levels of certain things. Now this one has a different, there's a pre-on effect and kind of a scrambled off effect. While you're changing all these different blade effects and you're going through, if you find a few that look like they're just solid and they're not changing and it's clicking, it's because those are solid blades, but they have different animations for blade ignition and blade retraction. So just play with those, or play around those a little bit and see what you like. There's quite a few on there. So we're gonna go back to sound fonts.
Sound bank selection.
Go back to the Revan, hold the button.
Dark Lord of the Sith.
Go another one.
Sound bank selection. I am Johari. You overestimate yourself.
I need to put an LED file in there. So I wanted to find a sound font that had a soundtrack. So a lot of aftermarket sound fonts that you buy will have soundtracks that play. To get those to play, you can just double click the activation really fast.
The dark side dwells in us
You gotta
all,
wake up
but
the
you
board
better not
first.
give in to your baser instincts like this.
Just like that. While that soundtrack is playing, you can light the blade up. And you can do anything you want. Right? And then to turn it off, just double tap the button again. Just like that. So now that we've done that, we're gonna go through and we're going to take the chassis back out, just so that you can see me do it one time. So first I'm gonna take my blade out. I'm gonna come through, I'm gonna loosen up my chassis retention screw. And then take my pommel cap off, right? And then I need to take these switches out. I need to unscrew these switches. They're easy enough to unscrew. The big one's just a little slippery. So, try not to lick my fingers and do it, you know? I don't want to lick other people's sabers. So anyway, I got that. I got the switches out. I'm taking my finger over here and I'm trying to push it through this side, have it come out this side, as you can see right there. And then very carefully, I can just pull it all the way out, just like that. And then I can take the battery out. And then you have your chassis right here. So the blade that I demoed your saber with today is not yours. It's a different blade I had laying around. I have blade material coming in either tomorrow or Thursday. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday, so if I do anything saber related tomorrow, she might kill me. I'll have this blade made Thursday morning and you know, packaged and out the door to you. I'm hoping by Thursday afternoon, but Friday morning at the very latest. So, thank you. Bye.